Ever since I officially converted into a fascist in 2021, I've seen a lot of things more clearly. Corruption in the government, censorship of sites that have no political affiliation, the rise of degeneracy on chat sites, and the shift of the social scene. I know I've been gone from Fascipedia for a while, and now that I've read the room and see why fascists including Archangel are resentful to the technological industry under capitalism, it's finally time to make a fresh video for Fascipedia, so here we go. Modern technology has hit a wall as of recent. Sure, we can blame that demented fool Joe Biden or that lying hack Donald Trump all we want. But we also have to blame publicly traded corporations for stifling innovation or completely butchering the quality of a product for more dollars. We've seen this with the food industry where we've had something nice and big for cheap, then the size of the food gets smaller and more expensive. We call that shrinkflation. Or how about video game consoles being of incredibly low quality for high prices along with very strict terms of services? People are paying $450 to $750 for the privilege, not the ownership, to play a console. This means people have to abide by the terms of service of what they bought or they cannot play their games. Nintendo, the largest video game company in the history of the world, got the biggest backlash in their entire history. Why? The Nintendo Switch 2 is the biggest failure in the history of console gaming. Not only did people pay $450 for a flimsy handheld/console, but they also had to agree to a special contract, EULA contract, saying that Nintendo has full ownership of the Switch 2 and you cannot sue. To make matters worse, you buy a case with the game for $60 to $80 and most of the time, you get a digital code to download the game on the internet. The internet itself has been a huge mess since the return of net neutrality in April 2024. Internet bills have spiked from $45 a month to $75 a month, and the price of internet will rise to unaffordable levels. Why? The return of net neutrality killed independent internet providers, including internet providers for people living out in the boondocks. Yes, net neutrality was reinstated under Joe Biden and enforced strongly by Donald Trump. Since then, competition has been stifled. The internet conglomerates are greedy. People are about ready to leave the internet due to censorship and degeneracy. Another reason why the internet is dying is due to the oversaturation of artificial intelligence. The poor sheep are relying on artificial intelligence for storytelling, music, and artwork. They don't realize that AI is driving internet artists to a breaking point of having to go to work for a job, and they won't be able to pay their bills nor put food on their plate. The same artists that unfortunately do not have the basic skills to economize and live minimally. As a fascist, it is important for people to read the room and know when to get out of a situation. Let's not forget the rising degeneracy. This is the main reason why a lot of people are revolting the internet. Sure, we could try to give credit to certain states for putting a restriction on porn sites and pornography in general. But let's face it, it's not enough to stop the explosion of degeneracy on the internet. People are going to find a way to funnel in degenerate content like anime, gore, and porn. The two biggest places where people can funnel in degenerate content is Telegram and Discord. I've never used Telegram, but the stories that I've heard about people spamming gore and child porn is absolutely sickening. The authorities are powerless to stop the degeneracy on Telegram. But Discord, oh boy. Discord is the worst place on the internet. Grant you that I left Discord in June 2023 because I got tired of people crying over trivial nonsense like the struggles of paying bills or losing their girlfriends. But Discord without a doubt manufactures degeneracy. A lot of people that I've known got exposed on Discord for the following: child grooming, which is usually an adult love bombing a minor and then abusing them; sexual harassment, death threats, doxing, exposing personal information with the intent on harassing a said person; spamming gore, spamming porn, manipulating people into gender swapping. Discord is a massive hookbox of degeneracy and the likes that the internet has never seen before. Many people that have talked about this on YouTube have gotten censored for bullying, homophobia, and racism. The explosion of degeneracy on Discord has overwhelmed law enforcement, and abusive assholes still have a platform on Discord. According to Discord logic, you'll get banned for racism, yet people get platformed for being pedophiles and zoophiles. The internet is so ass backwards that you cannot believe how many lives have been ruined. Discord is a major contributing factor of minors turning into degenerate adults, suffering from mental episodes that can last a lifetime, possibly manufacturing degeneracy if no one steps in and educates them on changing their ways, etc. One way to heal from this trauma is to get off Discord and never return. Another way to heal is seek advice from outsiders, family members, a licensed therapist, and some people with religion in their lives. The internet has weaponized people to have zero care, zero compunction, and a lack of common sense and logic. Because of that, people don't know what a gender is, what an education is, what budgeting and responsibility are. It's what Jimmy Carter warned us about in 1979. In fact, I want to show a clip that we should have listened to during those days.
In a nation that was proud of hard work, strong families, close-knit communities, and our faith in God, too many of us now tend to worship self-indulgence and consumption. Human identity is no longer defined by what one does, but by what one owns. But we've discovered that owning things and consuming things does not satisfy our longing for meaning. We've learned that piling up material goods cannot fill the emptiness of lives which have no confidence or purpose. The symptoms of this crisis of the American spirit are all around us. For the first time in the history of our country, a majority of our people believe that the next 5 years will be worse than the past 5 years.
Had we internalized that advice instead of bitching about the crisis in Iran, Main Street would still be going strong. Tax loopholes would still exist for family-owned businesses. We could have technologically progressed while regulating corporations, and we would still own the technology we buy because no one by law would allow to implement a terms of service that takes away power from consumers. We allowed Reagan into office and America has been struggling as a country ever since. And the technology that we have now is awful because of no corporate oversight, record profits while unemployment is a massive issue. Yes, it sucks that this was Carter's final on-camera appearance. Even so, a half-dead Jimmy Carter on his 100th birthday had more common sense than Joe Biden. Carter died on December 29th of 2024. Basically, we need to quit indulging on stuff that really doesn't matter in the long run. Technology companies have conditioned us to be dependent on them every few years when the honest thing to do is to provide tutorials on how to preserve old technology so it could last a lifetime. Craftsmanship was a high-quality technology back in the day. You crafted with a hammer, a chisel, etc. Today, a lot of high-quality crafts are rare to find brand new because we allowed capitalism to give us low-quality crafts to save money. The long-term detriment is we don't know how to preserve modern technology and quality crafts. So what will that mean for your children and grandchildren going forward? So let us recap why fascists resent modern technology. Too expensive, incredibly low quality, you do not own the item in question, quality crafts are rare due to machinery instead of quality craftsmanship, the internet is a harm to minors, censorship is rampant. Modern technology has hit a brick wall and people are seeing things clearly now. It's why guys like me went back to catalogs for ordering stuff physically. It's cheap enough, better quality than what you could get on Amazon or eBay. There are independent newspapers that you could find if you don't like mainstream newspapers due to a bias. Since music on the internet is not as high quality as it is on CD boombox or even a modern vinyl record player, physical albums are back in demand. Even acoustical instruments are in demand now more than, let's say, the 1970s. The world might be slowly healing from the COVID pandemic, but it's not enough. Don't be surprised if hundreds of millions of people cancel their internet service to go back to basics in 2 years. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen.